I've been providing liquidity in the form of the GLP token on GMX for about 6 months now, and in this video I want to share with you guys exactly how much money have I made or how much money have I lost. Am I still making passive income on this? So let's just get right into it. If you guys are new with GMX and GLP, essentially the way it works is GLP is the liquidity pool token of this platform, and if we take a look at what GLP is made of, it's actually made of all of these different coins. So I'm providing GLP on the Avalanche chain, but I think I'm probably going to change it to Arbitrum because we'll get into that in a second here. But Arbitrum, there's a whole lot more volume, more people using it, and therefore potentially a better option than Avalanche. But nonetheless, if you have GLP on Avalanche, you have a different combination here. So you have about 50% of it being USDC, you have about 18% being ETH, and then you have about 12% being BTC, about 8% being wrapped Bitcoin, and then 7% in AVAX, and another 5% in USDC.E. So that is basically your liquidity pool token, and you can just go ahead and simply buy that on that, and basically it's going to provide you a yield which is given to you here. You have about 21% APR on the AVAX chain and about 20% on Arbitrum. Now obviously this is going to fluctuate, but how are you earning money is that it accrues about 70% of the platform's generated fees. Those are distributed to the GLP holders. Now, the way this platform makes any type of money is through their perpetual DEX. This is a perpetual DEX, so people can come here, trade whichever coin they have listed on here, do a short, long position, and even swap token to token. So that's how they're making money, and they're using that money to pay people like myself who are providing liquidity in GLP. So if we take a look at this video, which I posted back in June, sharing with you guys my results after 1 month of being invested in GLP on GMX, we can see that my value was worth around $800. At that time, I had put in about $900. So to date, I've actually invested $1,250. So I did deposit a bit more after this video and along those 5 months, but essentially I had made about 1.15 AVAX back then. And on top of that, I also had made about 0.6 escrowed GMX. Now, if we take a look at the results for today, and after 5 months of that video, or after 6 months of me being invested in GLP, providing liquidity in that into GMX, we can now see that I have earned 6.7 AVAX, and of course, the price of AVAX has tanked a lot, so it's not very representative if we take a look at the dollar value of AVAX, but if we take a look at just the amount of AVAX I've collected, 6.72 AVAX, and as we take a look at the amount of GLP and what my position is actually worth, like I said, I put in about $1,250 of my own money in this, and that value has obviously gone down because the price of GLP has also gone down because, again, it is made out of Ethereum, Bitcoin, AVAX, and all of those coins have also gone down. So ultimately the value of GLP has gone down. So as you can see, I'm obviously losing about $300 on this portion of the investment. But if we take into account the $88 or the 6.72 AVAX I've made, that's about $100 there in rewards. And I've also made about 1.51 in escrowed GMX, which is worth around $80. So if we just kind of round things up a bit, we put a $200 reward over the last 6 months on my $1,250 position. I would only be down about $100 when all of these other projects are down considerably a whole lot more. And if you just held any tokens or any coins specifically, you would be down a whole lot more. So I do like the stability of GLP because, like I said, it is a combination of different coins. So the way GLP works is, of course, the combination of all of these different coins make up the price of GLP. And the second thing that can have an impact on GLP is whether or not people are making money on this platform. Now, what I mean by that is that if people are using this perpetual DEX and they're making money on their trades, they are going to be paid out with the money that's held in GLP, because again, GLP is actually the liquidity of GMX. So if I make $100 over a trade, that money is actually coming from the people who are providing GLP to GMX, and thus the price of GLP is going to go down. Now, if we take a look at the analytics of GMX on Avalanche, like I said, the price of GLP can be affected by the trader's P&L and how much money they are making. So if we go to an all-time view on Avalanche for GMX and we scroll down to the trader's P&L, we can see that unfortunately people are not actually making money when they are using this perpetual DEX. So as we can see, the net cumulative P&L is actually negative $7.3 million, which is not going to affect GLP or liquidity providers because traders are actually losing money. Now, if traders were to make money, obviously this would affect the price of GLP because the way people are paid out is from that liquidity on GMX, which is in fact GLP. Now, like I did mention at the beginning of this video, I may want to take my AVAX position and move it over to the Arbitrum position, because if we do the same exercise on Arbitrum, there is a whole lot more volume as well as there is a whole lot more people losing money. Now, as bad as that sounds, it's actually good for liquidity providers because it means that people are not making money and that the price of GLP is not going to be affected in a negative way. Now, if we take a look at the trader's net P&L on Arbitrum, we can see that it's actually negative $40 million. So as I said, a lot more volume happening on Arbitrum versus AVAX. And here we can see that it's going to take a lot more for people to make this cumulative loss of negative 40 million rather than the 7.3 million loss on AVAX. Again, this is not going to affect the GLP price because people are not actually making money on this platform. And that's a good thing for us liquidity providers. Now, if you want to learn a bit more about GLP and GMX, I'm going to leave a link to this thread down in the description below. This is from Thor. He's another great YouTuber. He goes into the details of basically anything DeFi, so definitely take a look at his channel if you've never heard of him. But here he goes into the details of what is GLP, what is GMX, and he also talks about the exploit that we had earlier in September. About $500,000 was kind of exploited by one trader who was able to manipulate the price of AVAX on a centralized exchange while either entering a long or short position on GMX. Now, the good thing about GMX is that it literally offers zero slippage and zero price impact trading, which is one of the reasons this trader was able to do that. But obviously, AVAX has a low liquidity compared to Ethereum or Bitcoin, so it would take a lot more money to be able to pull something off like that on Ethereum or on Bitcoin. Now, as we said, the price of GLP is based off of two things: the price of assets, which is basically what GLP is made of, as well as the trader's P&L. Now, he does also compare the entire market being down about 70%. We've all seen that over the last months, and GLP has been outperforming both ETH and Bitcoin. Now, as we already took a look at this trader's P&L, that is still very negative, and it's probably not going to go back up, unfortunately, because people tend to lose money when they trade. Now, another thing they say here is that GLP is probably not going to get drained because they actually have imposed trading size limits. And something else here, GMX fully collateralizes all trades with GLP, so there would always be sufficient money for all of the trades that are executed on GMX. So therefore, a death spiral of sorts with both tokens, either GLP or GMX, going to zero is essentially impossible. So again, I'm going to leave a link to this thread down in the description below. There's some good information there, but the basics here for this video is I've earned about $200 or $150 right now for both AVAX and Escrow GMX, or about 6.72 AVAX and also about 1.5 Escrow GMX. Now, I'm not making crazy amounts of money, but I'm also not losing all of my money. And like we've seen in the market, everything is down. Although my GLP position is down, it's not nearly as bad as what it could be had I just be holding Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other crypto. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.